Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Natalie with Natalie's Closet, and today I'm doing something new that I've never done before because I don't think I've ever had a reason to do this type of video. If anything, it was shameful and not using much yarn, but I am going to share with you how many yards of yarn I used in 2024. Now I know I used a lot more, but the ball bands are still with the remainder of the yarn, and I don't necessarily know exactly how much yarn I used out of those balls. But I would probably, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. I want to welcome everybody, welcome anybody that may be new. If you are new and haven't subscribed yet, I would love it if you'd consider hitting the subscribe button down below. Make sure you hit it to all. Make sure you hit the notification bell to all so you're notified anytime I upload a video. At least we hope that's what happens. Doesn't always happen, so make sure to check back periodically. That would be amazing. Just make sure, I know some people are like, oh well, I subscribed, and then they didn't realize that they had already been subscribed and they unsubscribed themselves. So make sure to just, if it says subscribe, that means you're not yet, so you're safe to hit it. And then of course, welcome back to everyone else. I really do appreciate you guys and all of your continued support, whether you've been here, you guys are OGs and you've been with me since the beginning, over 5 years ago now, 5.5 years ago almost, or from anywhere in between. You subscribed this morning, whatever. Thank you so much for all of your support. I really do appreciate it. And I really appreciate some of you are running my playlists, and I really do. That means a lot, and that really helps since I haven't been really regular on uploading videos. This is actually February 17th that I'm recording this. I don't know when you're seeing it because I'm kind of mixing in new videos that I've been recording with my older market and market recap videos, as well as some other older videos. So I apologize between local yarn shop tours and stuff that I've done and other things. So thank you for your patience and for watching everything. I'm trying to get everything squeezed in so that I can start fresh and maybe keep some older yarn haul videos like from Michael's Joann's Hobby Lobby that were from last October, November, December for, you know, like fluff videos in the event I'm not able to record something and put something out new. But I'm wearing my Grinch Always Naughty sweatshirt with the hood that, I'm going to mess up my hair, but that's okay, with the hood that has his little hair and his face on it. After all, right now, let's see. I'll tell you what the temperature is right now. Did it go up? How is that possible? No, it didn't. My phone isn't working. I'm not exactly sure what is happening, but things are not working on my phone. There we go. Right now, in the Chicagoland area, it is, sorry, I need to keep my computer on so my ring light keeps working. And I'm hoping it's not blowing out the color. But anyway, right now on February 17th, it is -3 degrees normal temperature. With the wind chill, it's -17. So, yeah. Did you guys hear about that Delta flight that landed upside down in Toronto? What? There were these like crazy wind patterns and stuff and whatever, and when it went to go land, it landed upside down. Oh my God, that's craziness. Okay, anyway, let's get to the meat and potatoes of the video, which is to find out how many yards of yarn that we know of for sure I used in 2024. And the ball bands that I have here is because all the yarn was used for projects. I don't think collectively in my life have I used this much yarn. Okay, maybe not. Since I started crocheting, I probably have done something close. And it's nowhere near some other people that I've seen videos done of in the past. I don't know that I've seen one recently, but anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you know, I'm looking up my screenshot, so I have the yardage information here. I'm going to let you know how many yards of yarn I used, and then I'm going to show you, like, share with you the types of yarn I used, and if I remember what I used it for specifically, I will let you know that. I can't remember hook size necessarily on everything, but I'll let you know. For the most part, most of this was for plushies, but then also scrunchies and I think some hats and like that. So what if I can remember, I will let you know what that is. And then I'm trying to also think in the back of my mind what kind of well, I can't tell you because then you guys will just, you know, whatever. Anyway, okay. So in 2024 that I know of, I used 10,209 yards, which in the grand scheme of things, honestly, that doesn't really necessarily mean, I don't know. Is that a lot? Is that not a lot? How many? Okay. Yes. No, I'm gonna, yeah, okay, anyway, and anyway, 10,209 yards. Is that a lot? I don't know. But how many feet is that? Oopsie, hold on a second. I thought I was in my calculator, but I am not. That was a screenshot. 10,000, what did I say? Okay, so that is 30,627 feet of yarn. That's a lot of yarn in my book. I mean, in my mind. I don't know, maybe it's not. I'm sure many of you use a lot more than that, but I don't know. Let me know. Do you think that's a lot or not? So here are the ball bands. Now, I'm going to guesstimate with all of the current project bags that I have with just yarn in them, designed for or set aside for small, my baby octopi, my medium octopi, my large octopi, my alligator, some large projects that I'm wanting to do to have at shows, which I really need to work on. Man, I need to get my stuff together. I have had no Crojo this year, like zero, and I have commissioned pieces that I have to finish. Whew. Anyway, I'm gonna say, based on what I'm seeing here, I'm going to guesstimate that I could easily add another minimum 1,000 yards. I'd say anywhere between 1,000 and 3,000 yards more that I can add to this that I've already used out of all of the balls that I have in my project bags that are set aside for those projects. I know I've used many halves of skeins and quarters and 3/4. So I'm going to guesstimate that I probably can add at least 1,000 up to 3,000 more yards to this number. I just don't have the ball bands. So it's going to be interesting. How do I do that when I'm trying to figure out 2025's yardage? I'm going to have to be mindful and make a note on the ball band if I think that maybe a half is left or something, and then put 2025. So that's a good thing. I have to remember that when I go to do this. Am I going to remember? Who knows? Anyway, so the yarns that I have used were, this was Malabrigo's Worsted, which is a worsted weight. It was 210 yards. I'm not going to read you all of the specs and everything, but the color on it was chameleon. No zdravia. He can't hear me. He's practicing guitar. This is a worsted weight Malabrigo chameleon. For the life of me, I cannot remember what I would have used a worsted weight Malabrigo on. I didn't even know I had a worsted weight Malabrigo, so I can't help you on that one. I have these, like, you know, like side one this way, one that way, one that, or whatever, so that I could easily figure it out. This was Babe Stripes, which I got at Creativity, my local yarn shop in Florida. And I had gotten like 9 of these. This was several years ago. And I had started a baby blanket, but I just wasn't feeling it. And so it just sat and sat and sat until I moved. And then when I started making loveys, like the one that Zelda with Z with Zelda NRJ3. She does that lovey. I will find the link for it and I'll list it in the description box below. But you use the like tie beanie boos, and then you make a blanket around an elastic band, like hairband, and then you put it over the head. I double stranded this because I believe this was, let's see, this was 50 grams and 180 yards. So this would have been either a thick fingering or a thin sport weight. I think it was a sport weight, if I'm not mistaken. And I double stranded this to make a lovey. And it took both balls of it. So that's what I used for that. It was beautiful. It was like pastel, like yellow, pink, I think green, blue in it. And it was so super soft. That went on my Peppa the Pig tie beanie boo. I think it was a tie beanie boo, or it was a stuffed little animal the size of like the small tie beanie boos. And that sold at my outdoor trunk or treat market that we had beginning of October last year. And it was awesome. It was so soft. Then I also used this, you guys know I love Barocco yarns. This is the Peruvia Quick. It was 100% Peruvian Highland wool. With this, I'm almost positive I made a hat with it, if I'm not mistaken. Honestly, I don't remember. But this was a, let's see, this was, okay, this video is going to be a lot longer if I do it this way. 100 grams and 103 yards. So what, a chunky? Minimum of a chunky. So I think I made a hat out of this. Okay, then I had 2 of these Shippius Chunky Monkeys anti-pilling acrylic. And oh, there was a deep violet and a neon green. And with these, I'm almost positive they were hats. But that was the Shippius Chunky Monkey. I love the Chunky Monkey. If you can get your hands on this, it's awesome and so soft. You guys know I'm obsessed with soft yarn and bright color, sparkly, holographic. Well, you can't, well, okay, maybe holographic, not in yarn, but you know what I mean. Then I used 2 balls of, I love this cotton, which honestly, I do love that cotton. That's a nice quality soft cotton. There's 153 yards in each ball. This was monkey red. It's red and white. And I have the start of a market bag. I never finished it because I'm at the handle and it just seemed like it was taking too much time, and the purpose of the market bag was to make it slower. And it's one that Rose with Rose Likes Crochet makes and suggested, and I have to talk to her about that because I need to make it faster. And I got stopped at the handle and just stopped because there were so many other things I needed to make for a bunch of markets I had. Here, I don't know, I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 ball bands of this, and I know I used more. I'm not going to go through the colors, but there was like neon yellow and pink and black and black sparkly and light pink sparkly and all kinds of stuff. But it's a Juicy Couturier 100% polyester luxe velour, 107 yards per ball, and it's considered a 5 chunky. This is my favorite yarn to use for scrunchies. I know that Bernat has a velvet yarn, and I know other brands have velvet yarns. This, for some reason, is my favorite one to make with. And, you know, with Joann's going out of business, a lot of these were not available in the Joann's order I placed, which there's an issue with, and I'm irritated to Kingdom Come, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway, so these are for my scrunchies. Every single one of these were for my scrunchies. And I have a bunch of other ones where the band, that there's at least half used already, but set aside for them. So that's what I use the Juicy Couturier for. Then this was Baby B, Adorable, super bulky. It was in camo green, and there were 38 yards per ball, and I have 5 ball bands here. Now with this one, the camo green, what did I make with this? It wasn't my alligator. I made, oh, my snake, my like 4-foot snake that I have. That's what I use this for, because this is very similar to, but not, this is categorized as a super chunky, which Sweet Snuggles is considered a jumbo, I think. This was this was like between Bernat Blanket and Sweet Snuggles, if I'm not mistaken. And that's what all of these went to, was that snake. So that was that. Then I have one Loops and Threads Charisma, which is a bulky weight, and there's 109 yards to it, which is the same yardage in the average Sweet Snuggles ball. But that's not what I used. No, it can't be, because this was a bulky. Honestly, I can't remember what I made with this, oops, it's upside down, Charisma. Could have been, oh, I think I did a Lovey. What color was this? Color was, seriously, they have it always in a weird place. I don't know what color this was. That would have helped me decide. Oh, Dragonfly Multi. It was, I don't know if it was a Lovey or a hat or what I did with this. I don't know. And I know I'm missing ball bands because I had a bunch ball and I couldn't find them all. And I know I'm missing some. And there are some other ones that I can't reach because the craft room is a mess. Like beyond a mess. I gotta hurry up because my camera's starting to die again. And I have one more video I have to record tonight and maybe start another one. But anyway, so these were the Mandala Thick and Quick by Lion Brand. I have 3 ball bands. I got them all on clearance at $3.97. The colorways, I had Swirl, I had Tidal, and I had Garden Maze. All 3 of these were made into hats. These are categorized as a super bulky 6 and 87 yards a piece, and you can get 1 hat with 1 ball. All 3 of these were a super chunky hat. The pattern was by Yarn Geek. And then I have a gazillion of these Premier Parfait Chunky. That's like one of my favorite yarns to make stingrays out of. Stingrays, my baby octopi, like my little things. I use Parfait Chunky. I used to use it for other stuff, and now for the life of me, I can't remember what. But I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19 ball bands here, and I have a ton of other ones set aside for those exact items that are at least, many of them are at least a quarter, if not half, or even 3/4 used. So how many did I say? And who else, when I said 2, 4, 6, 8, who else said who do we appreciate? Did anybody? Let me know in the comment section below. Anyway, so there's 131 yards per skein of the Premier Parfait Chunky. I absolutely love it. I know it's they categorize it as a 6 super bulky. I in no way categorizes it as a 6 super bulky. If you can tell me that Mandala Thick and Quick is a super bulky and then tell me that Parfait Chunky is a super bulky, I don't think so, because Parfait Chunky is nowhere near even Bernat Blanket yarn thickness. So I think it's a 5 at a 5. I don't know that it's a super chunky. That's my personal opinion. You let me know what you think in the comment section below. So anyway, a bunch of those, and those were stingrays, baby octopi. I think I had some baby spiders and some other things. And I know some people make larger stuffies out of this, but that's what I do with it. Then I only have 2 Big Twist Posh ball bands, 233 yards each, and it's categorized as a 5 bulky. This is a 5 bulky. Parfait Chunky is thinner than this by a little bit, so you tell me. But anyway, 233 yards. It takes 7 of them to make a blanket, 5 to make a sweater, 1 to make a hat, 2 to make a scarf. These I use, this is the Posh, the Big Twist Posh. I absolutely adore Big Twist Posh. If I could buy them out of all of the colors that I like, I would in a heartbeat, but I can't, unfortunately. So anyway, Big Twist Posh. I know a lot of people don't like using it, but so many people are obsessed with it, as am I. These I do my small octopi with. I've never made my stingrays out of it, but I want to make my stingrays out of it, and I've used it for other stuff too. But these are all stuffies also. So love the Big Twist Posh. I only have 2 of those, and I know I've used way more than that. So there's at least, I'm going to say, at least 5 other empty ball bands, and then a bunch that are way used. And I didn't get my computer signed in time, so hopefully my my ring light doesn't shut off. Then I have Big Twist Plush. I only have 1 ball band here, and I've used this a ton for my medium octopi, some loveys, I can't even think of what else right this moment, but anything that I would have used blanket yarn for, I've used the Plush. I just like the way it feels better than the Bernat blanket yarn that has come out in the last several years. I don't like how it changed. It used to be softer, in my opinion. Some still are, but it's hit or miss. So anyway, 153 yards. Big Twist Plush is another big one. So for me, the Plush and the Posh that I finally found that I love could be in jeopardy of leaving. I'm so sad because, and I only got 1 color of a bunch of both of those because I have to be careful on what I spend, but I still needed to get some so that I had some. And yeah, that's a bittersweet thing. Then I have 3 of these, the Hook Nook Ginormous. This we got at Ollie's for $1.99 each. It's 100% wool. Jumbo 7, which it's totally a jumbo. It's so thick, and I was using, I think, a 25mm hook, and the muscle I had to put in for like a week. My shoulder blade and my shoulder and my arm were so sore. Mr. Boyfriend was massaging as much as he could, but there was only 32.8 yards per skein, but these, I had gotten a bunch of these. This was for a large ghost, bell-shaped ghost that I made. Then I have, there are 2 different Sweet Snuggle yarn bands that I have here, and I don't understand. I can't remember what the difference was. These are the Sweet Snuggles ones that only had 87 yards in them. And I have 2, 4, 6, 8 of these with the 87 yards in it. All Sweet Snuggles and Chenille Home, I think it is. I use for my large octopi, for my bumblebees, for my gummy worms, for even some lovey blankets. And for a bunch of other stuffies that I do that I want to make big. I love Sweet Snuggles, and I absolutely see a size difference between that and Bernat blanket. I know it's more fluffy, but it definitely works out bigger because I've made the same things out of both, and there's definitely a difference in size. So that's the 87 yard one. And then, sorry for the earthquakes. All of these bands are flying. I mean, I'm going to throw these out afterwards anyway, but these ball bands are Sweet Snuggles, but they're 109 yards. And again, they're polyester. Totally make blankets out of it. Actually, I'm in the process of making a commissioned blanket out of the Sweet Snuggles. But one of my absolute favorite yarns there is. Love it. It's super soft. I don't remember why these are 109 yards and those were, because the colorways were not like, you know, variegated versus not. Like, oh wait, this was a multicolor mint multi. Oh, these were the ones I did for the gummy worms that were on clearance. Okay, so those were those. These were the regular ones in the aisle that were regular price, but they were 109 yards. So again, those are gummy worms, blankets, my bumblebees, my large octopi. That's what I make out of those. Then I have one chenille, what is this? Loops and Threads chenille home, which also has 109 yards. This again was one of those large things, because if I'm not able to find the colors in one, then I can maybe find the colors in the other, and they're the same size. And I know I have more, I've used more of the chenille home, so again, I can add way more yardage to this total. Then I have, I think the rest of this is Burnett. Oh, I had one Loops and Threads bulky tubular. It's polyester, 131 yards. This I made into, what was it that I made with this? I can't remember exactly, but it was not a favorite of mine. Oh yeah, with the Big Twist plush, I think that's what I've made my pencils and my bananas out of as well. No, that was Burnett Blanket Sparkle, and so, oh, those were Burnett Blanket, I think. And or a mix with the plush. But anyway, so I can't remember exactly what I made out of this, but I was not thrilled with this. It's a tube, a fiber tube, a tube with fiber blown into it. It's blown yarn, and it was not one of my favorites at all. Then the rest of these are Burnett Blanket of varying kinds. Burnett Blanket Sparkle, Baby Blanket Sparkle, 220 yards, which is what you get in any Burnett blanket, whether it's Sparkle or regular or baby or this, that, whatever, or the cakes, all 220 yards. But so I have 3 of the Sparkle. Again, those were my bananas and my, well, between these, my bananas and my pencils, and some loveys and some medium-sized octopi. And then this was just Burnett Blanket. There's only 2 of these, 220 yards. And I know I've used more than this. I just don't know where the ball bands are. So, and then this is Burnett Blanket Bright, 220 yards. I think this was orange or maybe blue. I don't know. And then this was just Burnett Baby Blanket, again, 220 yards, and there's 2 of them. So that's what made up all of the 10,209 yards that I used, plus at least 1,000 more yards, if not 3. Now I'm thinking maybe even 5, but 1 to 3,000 extra yards that are either partially used skeins or I just don't have the ball bands for whatever reason. So if you're still here, I would love to know, do you know how many yards you've used? Can you guesstimate? I mean, do you just not really make much? So maybe 1 or 2 skeins of yarn or hanks of yarn or whatever? Or do you know that, you do markets and you have however many thousands of yards? I would love to know that. Let me know how many yards you think you've used and what you've made with that. If you're still here, that's what your homework is. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you guys soon. If you have any questions about anything, if I remember the hook size, like with the Sweet Snuggles, it suggests 11.5 millimeter. I use a 10 for my bees and my for everything. And I know that you're supposed to like go way down in hook size when you're doing amigurumi or plushies and stuff. I don't, because my tension is so tight. I don't have an issue with seeing any stuffing. I mean, maybe a hole here or there, but as a general rule, you don't see anything. With Burnett Blanket and Big Twist Plush, I use a 8 or 9 millimeter. It kind of depends on whatever I may have. And then with the Parkway Chunky and the Posh, the Big Twist Posh, I use a 7 millimeter typically. But if you have any questions or want to know some more information, just let me know in the comment section below and I will answer that. My mom says, as always, hi and bye, and always thank you so incredibly much for all the continued thoughts and prayers. Miley says hi and bye to her peeps. She's laying in her bed nice and comfy. Mr. Boyfriend is practicing guitar but said to say hello and goodbye. And I, of course, say hello and goodbye, and I so very much appreciate all of the support you guys have always shown me. It's amazing. You guys are so awesome, and this community is amazing as well. And remember, be positive. Love, hugs, and prayers to everybody. Extra prayers for those who need it. Remember, if you need extra prayers but don't want to share publicly, email me at natalies.closet@yahoo.com. We will add you to our private prayer list. And if you don't mind me sharing it publicly but anonymously, let me know that too. And remember, for every season, there's a reason to crochet, especially now in the winter still. It's definitely a great time. And I will see you guys soon. And have a great day or night or whatever time it is by you. All right, bye. I love you guys.